Hi, I'm Ms. Cho, and in this video, we'll talk about how to find asymptotes of rational functions from a graph. When we talk about rational functions, they are a family of functions of the form p of x over q of x, where you have one polynomial divided by another. And the important thing is your denominator q of x cannot equal 0 because you can't divide by 0. It's undefined. One key feature of graphs of rational functions are something called asymptotes. Asymptotes are lines that your graph approaches but don't touch. So you can have vertical ones, so where you have some line that your graph just gets very close to but doesn't cross, or you can have horizontal ones where your graph just kind of sits and gets closer but doesn't ever really touch. Let's take a look at some examples. In this example, we're asked to find the vertical and horizontal asymptotes of the function f of x is equal to 1 over x minus 3 plus 2. So my vertical asymptotes are my vertical lines that my graph doesn't cross. And as I look at my graph, I see that it gets very close to, but doesn't actually cross this vertical line here, which if I count from 0 is 1, 2, 3. So the equation of this line is x equals 3. If you'll notice, x equals 3 is also the value that makes this denominator 0. When it makes a denominator 0, this is called an undefined value. Vertical asymptotes always happen at undefined values, but it only if that makes the denominator 0 and not the numerator 0 as well. The second part of this was to find the horizontal asymptotes. So this is a horizontal line of the form y equals where my graph sits. So to do that, I'm going to look at the far left and the far right, and I see that the graph kind of sits on this line here that goes across, and if I count up, that's 1, 2. So the equation of my horizontal asymptote is y equals 2. Let's try a second example. Here we're asked to find the vertical and horizontal asymptotes of the function f of x is equal to negative 1 over x plus 4 times x plus 2 minus 3. Again, my vertical asymptotes are my vertical lines that my graph doesn't cross or touch, and it looks like it's right here and right here. So if I count from 0, that's negative 1, negative 2, x equals negative 2, and then negative 3, negative 4, and then x equals negative 4. Again, these values, x equals negative 2 and x equals negative 4, make my denominator equal to 0, but not my numerator. So these are the equations of my vertical asymptotes. For my horizontal asymptote, I am looking for the far left and the far right where the graph is approaching. And so it looks like this line here, which if I count from 0 is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So my equation is y is equal to negative 3. Let's summarize. A rational function is a function of the form p of x over q of x, where these are both polynomials and the denominator is not equal to 0. An asymptote is a line that the graph approaches but never crosses. And you can have vertical asymptotes, which are vertical lines that your graph doesn't cross, like this. And then they take the form x equals something, or you can have horizontal asymptotes that your graph doesn't ever hit. So that's in the form y equals.